Okay, here I am again. So it's the 29th of April, and yeah, I just got some news from Luxembourg and from France about the confinement. So it looks like in Luxembourg they're already on the way. They started as said last Monday with the builders that are back in work. Obviously, they have to respect the distance, social distancing, or the distancing as well. In public transport, you need masks. When you go to a shop, you need masks. And they've announced today that they will test all Luxembourgers, and there we're talking some 620,000, or yeah, 620. It's almost 630,000 actually, and the people coming across the border to work in Luxembourg, which is another 200 plus thousand, and they will start on the 19th of May. Where they say that that is probably a very important step to find out if the people they have the coronavirus, and if they do, then they be isolated, and they be quarantined, and treated if needed. France has announced that they want to test 700,000, or do 700,000 tests per week. And they've just announced that after the 11th of May, the confinement be finished for certain places. The restaurants and cafes will still be closed, but all the shops they will be open. And there'll be some restrictions with masks on public transports, and there could be limitations if a department is very affected by the coronavirus. The primary schools, they will go back on the 11th, if I have it right in my head, and the secondary school won't be back before the 1st of June. That'd be the earliest, and then still it's up to the departments. If there are lots of infections, then they still could remain closed. So that's for that part, coronavirus. Just another piece of information that I got today, which I think is quite interesting. As I told you, there are over 200,000 people crossing the border every day in normal times to work in Luxembourg, and they're coming from France, Germany, and Belgium. Just to put a figure on it, there were some 104,000 people coming from France. There were about slightly over 47,000 coming from Belgium, and there were about almost 47,000 coming from Germany. And there is a business paper in Luxembourg, which is paperjam.lu. They had an article about the evolution of the border workers. They will be, according to statistics that has been made by the Union des Entreprises Luxembourgeoises, the UEL, and they actually, in that estimation, they are talking about 580,000 people crossing the border every day. Then there will be about 288,000 French people coming across the border every day. There'll be 148,000 coming from Belgium, and 144,000 coming from Germany. So just imagine, that's a lot of people. So we better have public transport well organized for them, because you be in a traffic jam from Trier to Luxembourg City, and from Metz to Luxembourg City, and from Arlon and further on in Belgium to Luxembourg City as well, for 2+ hours. So you might commute for 2, 3, 4 hours for then to work for 8 hours in Luxembourg. I don't know if that be a good solution, but well, wait and see. 2040, we don't know where we will be at that stage. So that's all for that now. I had come into giving information about books, and I thought, because I really like cartoons, but I like different kind of cartoons. Now, this is by far the best that I've read over the last couple of years. It's called Economics. It's written by Michael Goodwin. The illustrations are by Den E. Burr, and it's fabulous. It's the whole history of economics in cartoon form, and it's fabulous. It's fabulous because there is lots of information in it. There are the different periods of time when they had problems, like we're talking all the way back from the 17th, 18th century until just a couple of years ago. And it exists. In English is actually the original. This one I read it in French, but it exists in Spanish. There are lots of Portuguese, Italian I've seen. So if you want to get information about economics, this is the book to read, to reread. Very good. I stop at that book now. I still have others here, but that be for another video. So now the normal time. Oh yes, this was my son. He said, "Don't drink all the time. Try water," and he's actually a water guy. But then I said to people, they don't want me. They don't want to see me drinking water, so I put that aside. So I found a nice glass. It's actually a little bigger one, and I found a nice whiskey which I got in Ireland just about 2 years ago. It's a Tyrconnell, and it's a Madeira cask, 15-year-old, and I think that's a better thing to drink to your health and to your wealth. And yeah, so here we are. So I'm just gonna have. Have a sip. That's 46%, but you do get the Madeira. It's not my favorite. I will come to that at a later stage, but it's a bloody good whiskey. So stay home, stay safe. That's still the case, and all the best to you. See you.